I am live, and I think I'm going to adjust the banner that's behind me. So give me a moment here. If we pull the banner not this way, there we go. So I guess I'm live. It's about 12:05 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And yeah, I guess I'm live. That message just came up on my iPhone. Itchy underneath the nose. Do you like my scarf? Check out this scarf. Do you notice the hands? This is like the coolest scarf to wear in the wintertime. Check out these hands. Let's see what it says on the label. Let's see what it says on the label. Ah, there you go. It's Hugs for Life. Hugs for Life. L.I.F.E. from Toronto, Canada. From Toronto, Canada. So if you don't know who I am, I'm Robert Mandelson, the creator and facilitator of powerful play experiences, positive workplace mental health for teams. And I've been facilitating awesome workshops online, offline, outdoors for close to 15 years now, spreading the gospel of fun at work, the value of fun at work. We all need more fun at work, but most specifically, pushing the message that we all need more positive workplace mental health, positive mental health in the workplace. So all my workshops, online, offline, or outdoors, all my events, encourage and invite and result in people creating conversations about the importance of mental health. So although my workshops are a lot about team rebuilding and fun at work and plenty of play experiences, within all of that, it's really all about the need to create conversations, authentic and real conversations about mental health. For those of you who do know me, you do know that I've been living with and managing mental illness, specifically depression and anxiety, for well over 15 years now. In fact, mental illness runs 4 generations in my family on both sides, of both my late father's side and my mother's side. My mother resides in a long-term care facility in Montreal. So mental illness is something that I grew up with, experiencing in my immediate family, as well as extended family members, aunts and cousins and the like. One day I counted no less than 15 to 20 family members, dead or alive, dead or alive, 4 generations back, who lived with and experienced diagnosed mental illness. So you can see that I'm a huge advocate for positive mental health, especially in the workplace, And if you're here joining me today, awesome. And if you're watching the recording, equally as awesome. We're going to keep this short today. And today is really all about how COVID-19, in terms of getting a positive test, affects mental health. Of course, everyone knows that I don't take on the easy subjects, the easy topics, when it comes to mental health, especially, let me get comfortable here, workplace mental health. So the topic of COVID-19 positive test affects mental health is yet another one of those not so easy topics. But it is easy for me. And this is the story. So this is what prompted me to be here today and create this conversation around COVID-19 positive test affects mental health. Mental health and physical health are not two opposing or separate pieces to our life. It all goes hand in hand. For example, if you suffer a physical injury, let's just say a sports injury, maybe you just fall on the ice outside during this very cold spell of weather we're having. Your physical injury is one aspect to your situation. But taking care of your mental health or the impact of the physical injury on your physical body also has a massive impact on your mental health. If you're not thinking of physical health in that capacity, the link back to mental health, then I ask you to start doing so right now, because the two go hand in hand. There is no health, there is no positive health, good health, without positive mental health. And so physical health, spiritual health, financial health, mental health, and more from a very holistic perspective all comes together as one. It's just that simple. So my wife Sharon on Christmas Day decided to pay a visit to her not so physically well mother, who was also experiencing some very dramatic mental health concerns because of her physical health. So Sharon decides to head out and visit her mother, and she heads out with her sister and her sister's husband. And at the particular visit at Sharon's mother's place with herself, her sister's husband, and the brother who's taking care of Sharon's brother is taking care of their mother. No one is aware that one of them in the group is positive for COVID-19 because that particular individual hasn't gone for a test. But that individual goes for a test within the next couple of days because symptoms change for that individual. And that individual is Sharon's brother-in-law. And he's a cool guy. He's a real cool guy. So he tested positive. And therefore, because Sharon was in the company of the others, including the gentleman who tested positive, she started to feel some symptoms as well. The following Monday, 2 days after Christmas Day, she went for a test Thursday of that week, and the test came back positive. And all her symptoms are cold-like and cough-like. So, knock on wood. And our brother-in-law is doing just fine as well because his symptoms are very much cold-like and cough-like. We're very thankful that Sharon's mother hasn't contracted COVID-19. She's triple dosed because her physical health is not in a good state, nor is her mental health. So we're just very happy that she's doing well. What else? And Sharon's brother has since tested positive. And I also received an email from a friend of mine in Montreal, who's now tested positive. But back to the story with Sharon and myself and her sister, her brother, and her brother-in-law. So I decided to go get a COVID-19 test yesterday. I've not experienced any symptoms close to what Sharon has experienced, but I was able to book an appointment online and go for a COVID test yesterday. And congratulations, Robert. My test results came back about 5 minutes ago and they were negative. So my question to all of you is, or my comment to all of us is, it's irresponsible for all of us and somewhat highly ignorant to believe that all that has transpired around these multiple positive tests, including my negative test, it's irresponsible of us and somewhat highly ignorant if we believe that all of these positive tests do not impact our mental health. Yay, negative test, says my good friend Linda Primer Cadieux. The amazing Linda Primer Cadieux has joined me in the chat, and we're going to wrap things up pretty quickly. So yay, negative test for Robert. Yay, that Sharon symptoms and the resulting positive test continue to just be cough-like and cold-like, as well as our brother-in-law, as well as her brother. I haven't checked in with my friend in Montreal yet, but he's shocked that he tested positive because he's just one healthy dude. So I just want to draw attention to the fact that these aren't separate issues. Physical health and mental health, they all come together. And I want you to imagine Sharon, her sister, and her brother-in-law visiting Sharon's mom, who again is experiencing many physical illnesses as well as mental health challenges. I want you to imagine Sharon and her brother-in-law learning that they tested positive and how that impacted their mental health and in terms of the visit that they had to Sharon's mother and the risk that the risk to Sharon's mother. Remember, no one knew anyone was positive until the brother-in-law took the test 2 days after the visit. Linda says, I think just to have to take the test alone impacts our mental health. Way to go, Linda. Linda Primer Cadieux. That's Linda, Primmer, Cadieux, Cadieux. You can find Linda right here on LinkedIn. You do want to connect with Linda because she's one amazing woman. She writes here in the chat, I think just to have to take the test alone impacts our mental health. So add that scenario to the already existing scenario around today's get together around testing positive. Linda is saying, forget about just testing positive. The mere fact that we need to take a test impacts mental health. So, if this sounds overly simplistic, it's intended to be. It's not that complicated. And I didn't show up today to complicate matters with statistics, fancy dialogue in my conversation, articles and such. I just came here today to say, get with the program, everyone. Get with the program. Physical health and mental health are all packaged into one storyline. And I just hope, my hope is that no one is pretending out there, that whether they're considering going for a COVID test or have already gone for a COVID test, I hope people aren't pretending that this does not impact your daily mental health. Um, uh, um, and claiming to friends and family that you're just fine, just fine. So I hope there's limited pretenders out there claiming that they're just fine. That's my hope as I go into this weekend. Limited pretenders claiming that they're just fine, whether they're considering taking or getting a COVID test or have already tested positive, or for someone like myself who tested negative. Again, I went for the test yesterday and the results came back today. So that's pretty quick. So I'm Robert Mandelson, the creator and facilitator of powerful play experiences, positive workplace mental health for teams. Check out my new and renovated website, www.powerfulplay.ca. Powerful play experiences, positive workplace mental health for teams is a heck of a lot of fun, online, offline, outdoors, and somewhere in our workshops, our workshop experiences and special events, we weave in the opportunities for everybody to come together and generate authentic conversations about the importance of positive workplace mental health. So there's no workshop experience that I facilitate online, offline, outdoors that will not encompass some conversation about positive workplace mental health. Linda writes here, time to be honest with ourselves. We're not all just fine all the time. We should write a blog, Linda, or, we should do one of our, we should resurrect the video series we did last year, and we should call our upcoming video, We're Not All Just Fine All the Time. And that would be really cool to talk about that and make that public. Okay, it's 12:23 and I'm heading out. And when I head outside, I always wear my very cool scarf. A hand and a hand. Yes, the Unwebinar webinar, Linda writes. Let's resurrect Linda and Robert's Unwebinar series, which we had a tremendous amount of fun recording last year, or maybe 2 years ago. That COVID brain fog. Who can even remember? Great to see you, says Micah McDonald, in beautiful Nova Scotia, Canada, one of our beautiful Atlantic provinces. Great to see Mike here. Great to see Linda here. The Unwebinar webinar. Maybe we need to resurrect the Unwebinar webinar series that Linda and I produced once upon a time, and we can once again engage in these tough conversations. Always great to see my awesome friend Michael McDonald in Nova Scotia, a massive mental health advocate doing awesome work with one of Canada's leading airlines, ensuring that the mental health safety, the psychological health and safety of the employees for this Canadian national airline is above all standards and meeting the needs of all the employees, ensuring the health and well-being of the employees of one of Canada's major airlines. Mike McDonald works for this airline, and he addresses mental health Linda Primer-Cadieux, another wonderful expert, another wonderful advocate of mental health. She has, you may want to connect with Linda about some of her health care products, because healthcare products apparently is another way to feed your soul with positive mental health. You're too kind, says Michael McDonald. We try hard. It's an important journey. Okay, before we do say goodbye, let me pull up one interesting post that is here on my LinkedIn feed. That I quickly caught my attention before I signed in. And here's what the post reads. Here's how the post reads. It's from the Mental Health Commission of Canada. And it reads, today is National Bird Day. A study found benefits for mental health of being able to see birds, shrubs, and trees around the home. So go outside. It's good for you. So apparently, watching birds near your home is good for your mental health. Let's take a look here. People living in neighborhoods with more birds, shrubs, and trees are less likely to suffer from depression, anxiety, and stress, according to research by academics throughout the world. The study involved hundreds of people and found benefits for mental health of being able to see birds, to see trees, to see shrubs around the home where people lived in urban or more leafy suburban neighborhoods. And I can attest to that. Three quarters of our property, our home property here in Beaumont, are gardens. And my wife, Sharon, is the caretaker of those gardens. And her mental health, her positive mental health, is off the charts in the summertime because of her experience with a connection to nature. I rarely see Sharon in the summer months. I only see her in her gardens. Again, 3/4 of our property here at our home in Beaumont are gardens. So Sharon's positive mental health is off the charts in the summer. She should have been in the study. She should have been one of the people contributing to the study. Here we go. One last comment from Linda Primer-Cadieux, PRIMERCADIEUX. She says, oh, so true. I enjoy watching birds, trees, and shrubs on my backyard patio. In fact, feeding them even feels good. And you know what? It's good stuff for the birds. Mike writes, absolutely. Wow. There's a Japanese term called Shinrin Yoku. Says Mike McDonald, a Japanese term for forest bathing. This refers to the deep appreciation of nature as part of one's mental health management strategy. So Mike, taking us to a whole other place of thinking about our mental health by introducing us to the Shinrin Yoku a forest bathing practice, referring to the deep appreciation of nature as part of one's mental health management strategy. Boy, this has been enlightening. You're so cool, Mike. You're so cool. Linda, you're so cool. Okay, it's 12:30. It's time to say goodbye. The last message, once again, COVID-19 positive test does affect mental health. It's all in the same holistic world that we live. Mental health, physical health, spiritual health, financial health. they all come together as one. And best wishes to everybody who's thinking about getting a COVID test, and sending my love to everybody who's tested, either positive or negative. And it's great to see everybody. I'm ready to sign off. We're done, and have a great weekend.